Welcome to Fight Club 24/7. My name's Johnny Rashman. Right, let's get straight into it. Bam Rodriguez versus Sonny Edwards goes down on Saturday night for the unified flyweight world titles. It's an absolutely phenomenal fight. I've been calling for this fight for a long time. Right, it's got everything you want in a high-level, world-class fight. Two fighters in the prime, undefeated, both champions, different clash of styles. It's just the perfect ingredients for a fight. I honestly, I cannot wait for it. I think the promotion hasn't been great, to be quite honest with you. It's ramped up the last week or so, but as I've said previously, there should have been a longer promotion. These are two good characters, conflicting styles in and outside the ring. I would have liked to see more promotion. Right, but taking all that away, that's down to the promoter, not myself. But I cannot wait for this fight. I'm not gonna lie, I've been back and forth about who's gonna win this fight, right? And on this occasion, I'm not gonna let my heart rule my head, because there's been a few predictions this year where I've had let my heart take over my head and it's come to bite me in the arse, right? I'm not going to do it this time. Even though I'm from the UK, I want Sonny Edwards to win. I'm backing him to win. I'm going to base this prediction on what my head tells me, not what my heart tells me. Now, you would have seen a lot of predictions flying around this week, and I think we're all going to say the same things. Sonny has this slick skills. He's going to be boxing on the back foot. Bam's going to keep the pressure on, and it's going to be in the second half of the fight is where this fight is going to be won or lost. But if we just break it down a little bit more than that, I think the first few rounds, Sonny Edwards will come out, and I think he will really bamboozle Bam to an extent. Right, I think the jab will be key. I think Bam's going to have to work him out. He'll know he's probably going to lose the first few rounds. I don't expect him to become rushing out like a steam drain, because there's one thing about Sonny. He might not have the KO power, but he's a master at timing. And when you're coming forward and a punch connects, it doubles the impact. If you're at range and you get hit with a shot and you ride it, and you can take the power out of it. But when you're coming forward and you get hit with a shot that you don't see coming, it doubles that impact because you're coming forward to the punch. So he will get Bam's respect, because like I say, he might not be a one-punch KO merchant. We know Sonny's not. But he has got enough in him to command your respect. Whether he can do it for 12 rounds is the big question mark in this fight. But I think Sonny will get off to a good start, lots of lateral movement, and that's really hard against when you're a fighter like Bam, who's a pressure fighter, who's got that Mexican-American style, comes forward, high guard, rips to the body, comes up to the top, good combination puncher. The kryptonite to that is someone offsetting you. So when you're fighting someone who's going to create angles, you have to move, you have to reset your feet, because you're coming forward. And if someone moves, you've got to pivot, or you've got to move again. It's hard to plant your feet and to dig in those shots. When you're fighting someone who's just in front of you, happy days, you can let your hands go. But when someone's constantly moving, it can offset your rhythm. So Bam is gonna have to figure Sonny out. I think Sonny will get, like I say, he'll get off to a good start. I think the jab will be key. I think he'll whip in some uppercuts. I think he'll switch hit. And I think the first few rounds, he'll do very, very well. However, my fear in this fight is, as it goes on and on and on, Sonny will be drawn into a fight. And he's got that dog in him, Sonny. The last few fights, you can see he's trading more on the ropes and on the inside. Now, I don't believe he's doing this because he wants to. He's been doing this because he's been forced into it. If you look at the Campos fight, in the second half of the fight, he was fighting on the ropes, and he was exchanging close. I think Sonny he must have let off. There was a time, I think he let off about a 10-punch combination. That will wear you out. Now, Sonny will throw the combinations, but you don't want to be doing that late on in the fight against Bam, because That's going to suck your energy. I expect Bam to go to the body. I think he'll be very smart in what he does. What Bam does very well is he's good in every single aspect. He's good at defense. He's good at coming forward. He's good at defending shots. He's good at combination punching. He's good at going to the body. He does everything very well. Now, he's not one of these fighters who's going to throw 6 shots to land 3. He will throw 3 shots to land 3. Right? He's a spiteful puncher, and I think Sonny's going to have to taste the canvas at some point, because one thing that worries me is he does keep his lead hand low, Sonny, right? And he's got away with it against fighters he's much better than. But when you're fighting the elite, sometimes when you're that unorthodox, it can work for you, but it can also work against you. If you have a look at this, you can see Sonny's glove is down, right? If you look at this other picture, again, the lead hand, the glove is down. Now, okay, he might be out of range there. He's not stupid, Sonny. When he's in range, he's going to have his gloves up. But this happens quite a lot, right? There, again, he's actually square on here. And he does this quite a lot, Sonny, where he will switch it. And there's times where he's actually square on. Now, if you're going to fight a dangerous southpaw and you get clipped and you're standing square on like that, you're going to go down. Right? And I just fear in this fight that Sonny might have success on the inside, but he gets caught with a left hand and he's off balance. And I think he's going to taste the canvas, and I think that's what's going to change the fight. As I say, first 4 or 5 rounds, I think Sonny will do very well. It'll be very close. He might even be up on the scorecards, but I think he'll get caught with a shot, and that will change the whole complexion of the fight. And I expect Bam to be vicious in the second half of the fight, because Sonny can't outwork Bam. He can't. He's going to have to be very economical with what he does. He can't be just moving around and wasting energy without affecting the fight. You know, you can evade shots and you can tuck up and you can create angles, but what are you doing when you're doing that? Are you making your opponent pay? Now, Sonny is a master at making his opponents pay, but he's going to have to do this a lot in this fight. And there's times where he's going to have to meet fire with fire, and he's going to have to exchange with Bam, which he can do, but I just feel that it's going to happen too often. As the fight gets on, I think the body shots are going to catch up with him, and Bam, like I say, he's very spiteful. You know, he will tuck up, and it might look like Sonny's throwing 3-4 punch combination, but how many he's going to get through? Right, how much energy has he wasted throwing that combination, where Bam doesn't waste a lot of energy. He's just on you non-stop for every second of every minute of every round, right? But he's not wasting punches. And when you're fighting a fighter like that, it's so hard to win a 12-round decision. Sonny can't win it just on the back foot. He's not going to get the decision in America. And if you look at the Campos fight, as I say, a lot of that fight was fought on the ropes and training on the inside in the second half of the fight. That's not Sonny's fight. Now, he can fight on the inside, as I've said, but that's not his fight. That is Bam's world. Sonny has to try and keep this fight on the outside for 12 rounds, and that's just not going to happen. And this is the fear that I have. I just think that the work rate of Bam in the second half of the fight will be too much for Sonny. I just can't. I don't know how Sonny is going to negate that. I don't know. Because, like I say, he might not be a one-punch KO merchant. As I say, he's got power. But does he have the artillery to keep Bam off him for 12 rounds? I don't know if he does. I think Bam will work him out once he gets past 5-6 rounds. I think he'll go, okay, right, I've got to be careful. I can't just steam him, but I believe I'm not going to get knocked out. And then when a fight is coming at you and they have no fear about being knocked out, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. And I just think Bam will be relentless on the ropes. That Mexican-American style, it's such a hard style to beat. It's one of the hardest styles to beat in boxing. It really is. And if you haven't got that one KO punch, that one punch power, it's going to be hard to make a dent in your opponent over 12 rounds. You'll get away with it for 5-6 rounds because your opponent's working you out. He'll take on the gloves. You know, he might let you win a few rounds. But as it gets into that nit and gritty championship round, I think Bam will be too ferocious. I really do. I hope I'm wrong, because Sonny has got me believing. I'm not going to lie. He has got me believing. But as I say, I've got to take my emotion out of it. If it was 6 months ago, I'd say Sonny's going to win. But I can't be doing these predictions now with my heart. I've got to do it with my head. And taking who I want to win, and as I say, I'm from the UK, I'm backing Sonny. I want him to win. I don't want to be right in this prediction, believe me. I want Sonny Edwards to be unified flyweight champion, but I just don't think he's going to win this fight on Saturday night. I don't think he's got the artillery in the second half of the fight to keep a ferocious, spiteful pressure fighter off him. I just don't think he's going to win on Saturday night. But it's a phenomenal fight. It really is. It's going to be fascinating to see how one another deals with each other's style, right? Because the idea that Bam's just going to walk through Sonny, I do not believe that for 1 minute, right? And if he's underestimating him, he's going to be in for a shock. Sonny would have looked at hours and hours and hours and hours of footage of Bam. He has wanted this fight. Bam has not wanted this fight. Right, let's get it right. The team aren't stupid. They have not been chasing this fight. I've said that on my social media. They have been forced into it. When I say forced into it, they want another bout. Sonny's a champion. They have to fight him. Right? He's not been calling Sonny's name. Sonny's been calling his name out. He wants this fight. So I think that will make a difference in the fight. But ultimately, for me, Bam will be just too cute, too powerful, and the pressure will win him the fight. That the rounds will mount up. Do I think he will stop Sonny? I think he could do late on. I think if he's really putting the pressure on and Sonny's on the ropes and Sonny will go out on the shield. That guy's got that dog in him. I'm telling you, he has. Right? He might like to talk a lot and all that, but he backs it up, Sonny. Right? He has got that dog in him. He's not a guy who won't meet fire with fire. When the time comes, he will meet fire with fire, but that's my issue with this fight. I think that might be his downfall, because you keep meeting fire and fire with a ferocious pressure fighter. Eventually, something has to give. And Bam, like I say, that left hand, I just think he'll catch Sonny with it. The guard will be low, and I just think he'll time it right. It'll take him a few rounds to time it, but once he does, I think he might drop Sonny. And then the whole fight changes. But it's just an unbelievable fight. It really is. I cannot wait for it. I cannot wait. Like, it's just such a good fight. I know it gets thrown around a lot in boxing that this is going to be a great fight and it's a 50-50. But it is a 50-50 fight. It really is. You know, Sonny could put on a masterclass. But I just can't see him convincingly beating Bam Rodriguez. This style, I just think that style of the Mexican-American pressure fighter will beat that slick boxer on the back foot when the boxer doesn't have the one-punch KO power. I really do. And that is the main question in this fight. Can Sonny keep Bam off him? As I say, first 5-6 rounds, I think he will be able to. But as it gets to the championship rounds and the body shots are being dug in, you know, Campos had success to the body. I think Sonny has said he's been trading more because he wants to. I don't believe that. I don't think fighters want to put themselves in danger. You know, Sonny's a very smart guy. I think he's been dragged into fights, and Campos has that Mexican-American style. But he ain't Bam Rodriguez. Bam's a southpaw. He's a harder puncher, and he's a smarter pressure fighter. And that is a hard style to beat, especially when the opponent has power, because you are second guessing yourself. You don't want to throw your flashy combinations, because you know if I get caught here, I'm getting put on a canvas. So I think Sonny will start to get a little bit more hesitant as the fight goes on. But my ultimate fear is that it's the trading in the middle. And I think it will be a barnstorm. I actually do. I actually think there'll be times where it'll be so exciting. But that will be Sonny's downfall. So I expect Bam Rodriguez to claim a late stoppage or to beat Sonny on points. As I say, I hope I'm wrong. I'm backing Sonny. I hope he wins the fight. But that's my prediction. Right, let me know what you think. Who wins this fight? Bam Rodriguez or Sonny Edwards? Like, comment, subscribe, let me know.